Before I show you the case 2 of solving trigonometric function, let's review what we did last time. Right. I want to find the solution in the interval from 0 to 2 pi. My suggestion, when you take the final exam, read the question carefully. Read through it, see, sometimes people don't like, what am I gonna do next? Because you didn't read the question, right? Make sure, in this case, we want the solution between 0 and 2 pi. Any suggestion for what should I do for this part? I don't see any familiar algebraic pattern here, right? I don't see quadratic. I don't see anything I can factor. By the way, cosine of 2x is different than cosine of x. So don't factor because they're not the same thing. It's like having x squared and then x. I'm sorry, x squared and square root of x. They're two different things. Well, you can look at one of the formula that I give you on the formula sheet, right? Do you guys remember I forgot what's it called? Is it double? I remember the formula, I just don't remember the name. Cosine of 2x is equal to 2 cosine square x minus 1, right? And there's 3 of them. I think this is the third one. The 3 of them. I'm going to use the third one. Why do I use the third one? Because I see quadratic resemblance, right? So let's replace cosine 2x with 2 cosine square x minus 1. So that one right there is 2 cosine x, well, 2 cosine square x minus 1. And then bring the 2 down. Bring the 2 down. That 2 is separate. And then you bring down a cosine x minus 3. Equals 0. This equation, so you have 2 sides. 2 times 2 is 4. Right. So 4 cosine square x. Minus 1 and minus 3 is going to be minus 4. And then plus 8 cosine x. If you're good enough, you can factor it straight away. If you're not, then you have to let u equal what? Cosine x, right? Always the middle one, the middle variable, not the whole thing, not a cosine x, just cosine x. So I'm going to side work here. I'm gonna let u equal cosine x. Then my equation going to be 4u squared plus 8u minus 4 equals 0. Do you guys remember how to factor this? Using what method? If you stuck, what do you use? Say if you stuck, you don't want to factor, what do you use? Quadratic formula, right? So if you panic on the exam, like, oh my God, I forgot how to factor it, use quadratic formula, right? But here I'm going to review the factor. So I want a product. It's going to be negative 16, right? Because A is 4, C is negative 4, so it's negative 16. And then the sum to be 8. Can you find me 2 number, multiply is negative 16 and add up to 8? Oh, sorry, there's something wrong here. I make a mistake. I make a very, very popular mistake. I replace cosine 2x with 2 cosine square x minus 1. But the blue 2 is multiplied with that term, right? So I have to have what? A parenthesis. Okay. It's a very, very, very popular mistake. So that mean 2 times -1 is -2 minus 3 is -5. All times -5 is -20. Give me two number multiplies -20, add to 8. Yeah, thank you. 10 and -2. And what do I do with the 10 and -2? Do you remember? Don't do this. Do not do this. Don't write this down. It's wrong. That's just wrong, right? But don't do that because this one, because why can't we do that? Because the coefficient of u squared is 4. It's not 1. So what you have to do is you have to split the AU into 10u and then -2u. So 4u squared plus 10u minus 2u minus 5 equals 0. It's still the same thing. I just make it into 4 terms. When you have 4 terms, group factoring. So group the first two, group the last two. I'm going to factor out 2u for the first group. So that will be 2u plus 5. What should I factor out for the second group? -1, right? Because I need another 2u plus 5. So factor out -1. When you factor out the negative, it changes the sign. Okay, so 2u plus 5 equals 0. Now you have another common factor here. 2u plus 5, 2u plus 5. So that 2u plus 5 times what's left over is 2u minus 1. So 2u plus 5 equals 0, or 2u minus 1 equals 0. Subtract 5 divided by 2. U is -5/2. U is 1/2. I want you to do the next step. Take a few minutes to do the next step. I'm not solving for you, right? Yes. No. Why? Why would you do that? Okay, don't write it down, but yeah, you have fraction. You don't want to work with fraction. If you stop, you don't know how to factor, use quadratic formula. It gives you the same result. So try to plug in cosine x back. So cosine x equal -5/2. My Zoomer, if you have answer, you can put it in the chat. That's all you have, right? You put u back, right? You substitute cosine x back. And then you have a solution. Yes, that's it, right? On the exam, that's it. Everything you already know, you just have to do one step at a time. So can I take inverse of -5/2? No, right? Because it's out of range, out of domain. Since -5/2 is not belong to -1, no solution. You can write out no solution, or you can do that little empty set notation. Where what angle give you 1/2 on the cosine? Cosine 1/2 is positive, right? So it's going to be quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. Let's see, 1/2 for cosine, that one and that one. So pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. My suggestion to you, when you are given the interval from 0 to 2 pi, your answer should be in radian. Right? Don't write degree here. I'm not gonna take point off, but I don't grade them. Right? Other instructor might be more picky. I only grade probably 1 or 2 problems. The rest will be we divided things to grade together. So all right, C. Yeah.
You scroll a little bit. So after the original problem, there's -1 and -3. So how'd you get 5?
-2, not -1. See that yeah. I make a mistake in the beginning. I forgot the parentheses. Any suggestion for C, at least in the numerator? Don't look at me, look at the formula sheet. Your answer is all in there. Let you know where to look. Yeah, maybe I put up here. The one I sent to you last night, that's the one you're gonna use on the final exam. Okay. So use that, get used to it, get familiarize yourself with it. Any Pythagorean identities you want to use? Yeah, secant, right? Because if you look at the problem, you have something secant over tangent, right? Secant square over tangent. Maybe I want to change that into tangent u, right? So I look at my Pythagorean identity, I see this. I see this, right? I want to change it into tangent t or tangent u, doesn't matter what notation here. So I'm going to solve for tangent square t, subtract 1 both sides, so secant square t minus 1, right? So I'm going to replace secant square u minus 1 with tangent square u. Can I cancel? Should I cancel? Should I cancel it? What did I maybe last time I say equal 3. Can I cancel the x squared? with the x? What kind of equation is this? If I multiply both sides by x, I have x squared equal 3x, right? Subtract 3x both sides, x squared minus 3x equals 0. What kind of equation? It's quadratic, right? I should have how many solutions? 2. If I cancel it, how many solutions I have? 1. I'm losing a solution, right? So you can't, you're right, you can cancel it, but when can I cancel it? When I'm asking to do what? Simplification, right? If it no equal sign, yeah, go ahead and cancel it. But because you have an equation, be careful. You don't want to cancel a variable. You can cancel a number though. So I'm not going to cancel it because I don't want to lose my solution. What I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative tangent u both sides. I cancel the left side. Now, why do you say you don't cancel Mimi? Well, I didn't cancel. I cancel this side, but I have the other side, right? So I don't lose anything. Or you can crisscross multiply. So you have tangent square u equal negative √3/3 tangent u. Do you see quadratic equation here? I have a square and I'm not a square, right? So when you see quadratic equation, move everything to one side, right? So I'm going to add √3/3 tangent u both sides. So that right hand side cancel. On the left hand side, I have turn back to the other color. Tangent square u plus square root of 3/3 tangent u equals 0. Now I'm going to factor. Factor out tangent u. What's left is there's one more tangent u for the first term plus √3/3 equals 0. You guys solve the rest. See what you have. should be able, at this point, you should be able to solve it. You know? Yes, tangent U, straight here. Oh, what side is it? So look here. I know you don't have this on the exam. Oh, don't use this. No, I sent you the sheet last night. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one you use. So don't do this. I know it's not wrong in the lecture. It just you get used to it. You know, so when you look at the other one, it looks strange. Use the one I sent you. Don't use the one that from the workshop because it's not the one for your final. Just get used to the thing you look at, right? Otherwise, it looks strange when you take a final. Like, oh my god, what is it? It looks different. So this implies tangent u equals 0, or tangent u plus √3/3 equals 0. If you look at the unit circle, tangent is psi over cosine. Right. Well, I don't care about the bottom, but if I want that fraction to be 0, my top better be 0, right? So this implies all I care is psi u is 0. And if you look at the unit circle, where psi u is 0? Here and here, right? So here is 0, and then here is pi, and then 2 pi. So u equal 0, pi, or 2 pi. The reason we have 3 here because if you look at your problem, it includes 0 and 2 pi. Oh, it's not include 2 pi. Oh, sorry. I was thinking that's the bracket. So no 2 pi, no 2 pi. It's not include 2 pi. Sorry about that. On the right one, tangent u equal -√3/3. It's difficult. Don't draw this out. Just look at the unit circle. Tangent is negative. So what quadrant are you looking at? Quadrant and what? 2 and 4, right? The sine and cosine have to be opposite. The reason I'm asking because that's reduce your amount of work, right? You don't want to look at all 4 quadrants every time. Quadrant 4 are true first. Let me write down -√3/3 is the same thing as -1/√3, right? I see this one, right? And for quadrant 4, I see this one. Look, use this one. Don't use the one from the workshop. 5 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. So these are easy case. Believe it or not, it's easy. The one I'm going to show you next, if you notice that all I'm showing you from beginning up till now, if you look at the input, it's just u or x or theta, right? Just one letter. What if I change it? What if I make it into, say, 3u, 2u, right? What if I have something like this? I'm going to solve the problem right away. What if my angle is no longer theta, it's pi theta? Then my periods will change, right? The periods will change. I'll explain to you that later, but let's solve this one. Solve the trigonometric function. The first hint that your inner cell tell you what to do, what you're gonna do. Add one, right? Add one. Try to solve a psi pi theta. So 2 psi pi theta. Every little thing is a partial credit. You add one both sides. Cancel. And then divide both sides by 2 plus 2. Psi pi theta equal 1/2. Notice that I put the pi theta inside a parenthesis. Just remind me that's the angle. That's my new angle. Now, if it's just x, say, imagine just for now, just imagine this part right here. That's just psi x, right? Imagine the whole thing is x equal pi theta. Just the whole thing is just x. I don't want to see it's pi theta, right? Naturally, how do? You look up a unit circle, right? So what is the angle? The psi is 1/2. Angle, the psi is 1/2. One psi is positive, it's going to be quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, right? Yes, pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6, right? So I look at it, I know that whatever that is in that little green bubble, let me revise this, pi theta equal, I forgot it already, what was it? 6 pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. Right, that's, you look it up unit circle, because that's your angle, right? It's just a little bit different now, but it's still just one angle. A little bit bigger, I guess. Let me ask you this. Originally, do you guys remember on your exam 3, I had this problem I asked you to graph. I'm just making things. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly, but something like that, right? Remember that? I'm asked you to graph. And before you graph, what did you do? You factor out the pi over 2. And what the pi over 2 is your what? What's the letter? The B, right? Now, if you have something like this, don't write this down. It's just explanation. Now, what's your B? What's your B equal in this one? The one above? 1, right? So when you do your solution, you say x equal, say something, x equal, so your period would be what? For this one, the period is, remember the formula of the period? 2 pi over b, right? 2 pi over 1, which is still 2 pi, right? It's nothing changed. It's still 2 pi. But what happened? The one in the bottom. Period P is 2 pi over b, which is 2 pi over pi half. If you divide, you flip multiply, right? So 2 pi times 2 over pi, which is 4. You see the 2 periods change? Same thing in your problem. Up till now, you only have what? The coefficient of theta is 1, right? 1x, 1u, 1t, 1 theta, right? Now it's no longer 1. That means the solution will change. It either shrink or expand, right? depend how your periods go. Right? What is the period of 2 pi in terms of real number? You plug your calculator, the 2 pi is 6.28 something, right? 4 is smaller than 6.28, right? So your solution will change. That's why we have to, after you look up on the unit circle, you have to add to both equation the period of sine, which is not 2 pi, but what? 2k pi, because it could be 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, right? Where k is the integer. So let's do step by step. State the two equation. So my two equation is pi theta equal pi over 6. Leave a little space, and pi theta equal 5 pi over 6. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add 2 pi k to this equation. Well, 2 pi is 1 period. 2 period will be what? 4 pi, right? 6 pi. Well, k is an integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or -1, -2. Some people use n. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add 2 pi k to my equation. Remember, you solve for theta just like you solve for x, right? It's just a little bit different. Let's solve for theta. If I want to solve for theta, before I do that, everybody okay why I'm doing this? Right, because the period changed, right? In order to solve for theta, what do you suggest I do? Right, I like to say multiply both sides by 1 over pi, right, instead of divide. So multiply both sides by 1 over pi. Make sure you multiply every single term by 1 over pi. The left hand side, pi and pi cancel. So just theta. On the right hand side, again, you're going to multiply 1 over pi to pi over 6. Pi and pi cancel is 1 over 6. Last one, pi and the pi cancel, the blue and the yellow cancel, so just 2k. What? Someone tell me what the right one equal? 5 over 6 and plus 2k, right? That's just general solution. Right? I want the specific solution. Remember, your solution only allow go from 0 to 2 pi, right? So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to write the common denominator first. So the common denominator will be 6, right? So I need to change this into what? 12k over 6, right? So theta equal 1 plus 12k. Is that okay? I write like that? Gotta skip a step. 5 plus 12k over 6. So that general solution, you're not done yet. You have to substitute. Remember what I say, k is just integer, right? It's a placeholder for integer. So say let's k equals 0. What happened when k equals 0? This one is 1 plus 12k over 6. The other one is 5 plus 12k over 6. When k equals 0, When k equal 1, 12 times 1 is 12, plus 1 is 13, so 13 over 6. 13 over 6 is roughly 2.17. Why do I do this? Because I need to know. I don't want to go over 6.28. That's true. When k equal 2, 12 times 2 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. So 25 over 6. Look, your calculator is roughly 4.17. When k equal 3, 12 times 3 is 36, plus 1 is 37. So 37 over 6 is roughly 6.17, very close to 6.28. When k equal 4, 12 times 4 is 48, plus 1 is 49. It's roughly 8.17. And then you stop. You can't take the last one. Why? Because what? Yeah, because you want from 0 to 2 pi only, right? Remember, right here. 0 to 2 pi, the same thing, 0 from 0 to 6.28. Over that, you're done, right? You stop. So the solution is the first four, from 0 to 3. One more, there's one more, right? For the second one, 5 plus 12k over 6, you do the same thing. When k equals 0, theta is 5 over 6. That's less than 1, so I know that's one of the solutions. When k equal 1, 12 plus 12 plus 5 is 17. So 17 over 6. It's roughly 2.8. 17. When k equal 2, it's 29 over 6. I forgot to write theta. I should have write theta. (29 over 6). That's roughly 4.8. And when k equal 3, theta is 41 over 6. That's roughly 6.8. 6.8 is bigger than 6.28, so we don't take that one and we stop. So in short, they already wrote the word solution. Solution will be 1 over 6. Please don't give me decimal unless they ask you. Use a fraction, right? 1 over 6. I'm gonna write it in order. 1 over 6, and then 5 over 6. If you don't, it's fine. It's nothing wrong with it. And then 13 over 6, 17 over 6, 25 over 6, 29 over 6, 37 over 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You, at home, when you do your homework, you can check your solution. So you decimals, right? So how many intersections you see there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7 solution. Let's do one more, right? Repetition is key. Let's do this one. Zero to 2 pi is the same thing as 0 to 6.28. What should I do? At least the first step. Remember, everything is a partial credit. Divide by 2, right? So side of x over 2, put it in parentheses because I know that's the angle, equal √3 over 2. Solve for x over 2. I'm not asking you to solve for x yet. I want to solve for x over 2 and think of it as the angle, right? If the angle, you can look up a unit circle. If you look at the unit circle, what angle psi is √3 over 2? Quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, right? Psi is positive. Pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3. So the angle, which is x over 2, is equal pi over 3, and the angle equal 2 pi over 3. State the two solution. Well, two equations, that's the same thing. They asked me to do the same thing. You can just skip that step. That's fine. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to add 2 pi k to this equation, right? Because the period of sine and cosine is 2 pi. So x over 2 equal pi over 3 plus 2k pi, 2 pi k. It's the same thing, but let's just do what they asked us to do. And x over 2 equal 2 pi over 3 plus 2 pi k. Solve for x. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, right? Or 2 over 1. Left hand side just x. 2 pi over 3 plus 4 pi k. And x equal 4 pi over 3 plus 4 pi k. Common denominator is 3. So x equal 2 pi plus 12 pi k over 3. And x equal 4 pi plus 12 pi k over 3. Do the same thing, right? K equals 0. Plug into the first one. That's 2 pi over 3, right? Let me remind you, the one that I want is from any answer that between 0 and 2 pi. Can I write 0 at 2 pi as 0 to 6 pi over 3? Is that okay? What's 6 pi divided by 3? 2 pi, right? The reason I'm doing it because I can compare without changing to decimal. Does that make sense? It takes time. Right? So anything that more than 6 pi on the top, eliminate. 2 pi over 3 is still okay. What about k equal 1? Oh, that's huge, right? That's 14. Let me put the theta, just a good, I'm sorry, x, that's a good habit. X equal 14 pi over 3. And you say that it is not belong to 0 to 2 pi. Just one solution for that one. Same thing for the second one. K equals 0 x is 4 pi. When k equal 1, x is 16 pi over 3. Now between 0 and 2 pi. So the final solution is just 2 of them. Right? 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. It's very repetitive. Last one. I want you to try this. Please try this. And we do the same step we've been doing. Let me put it up here so you can see this procedures. there. Very good. Follow the set. Very good. Some of you get very well with the procedure. All right, so same thing, right? First off, divide both side by 2. So sine of 4x, put that in parentheses so you know that you don't remove the 4. Right? It's part of the input. Equal negative root 2 over 2. And you look at on the unit circle, the angle that gives sine is negative 2 over 2 is either quadrant 3 or quadrant 4, right? It's negative sine. Okay. Negative root 3 root 2 over 2. I see this one, and I see this one. So 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. So that means the angle is either 5 pi over 4 or leave a little space because you're going to add this thing later. Or 4x equals 7. Is it 7 pi over 4? That's why I don't remember things because I forget instantly. When you do a lot of math, you don't want to remember things. All right, before you divide both sides by 4, you're gonna add 2 pi k first. This is one of the popular mistakes, like a classic mistake people make, right? Oh, I'm gonna multiply both sides by 1/4, and then they add, but then it's different, right? So you want to add before you do anything else. After you look it up on unit circle, you want to add 2 pi k first. Then you divide both sides by 4. Or like I said, I like to say multiply both sides by 1/4. Yeah. Let me do like this. Multiply everybody by 1/4. How's that? I don't miss anything. On the left hand side, that's just x equal 4 times 4 is 16, so 5 pi over 16 plus the 2 and the 4 cancel a little bit, so be 1 be pi k over 2, right? Just leave it. Just leave it 2 pi k over 4 because you're gonna do the common denominator anyway. So 2 pi k over 4. Then x equal 7 pi over 16 plus 2 pi k over 4. So far, so good. Is that what you guys have? At least I see half of you. Common denominator. Four over 4. 4 over 4. So x equal, the common denominator is 16. The top is just add them together. So 5 pi plus 8 pi k. Do not combine them because they are two different things. I know, like, okay, it looked like 5 pi is 8 pi. I'm gonna combine to 13 pi. But the second one have k, right? So they different. X equal 7 pi plus 8 pi k over 16. Now you do your k thing. Yeah, k equals 0. Then x equal what? 5 pi over 16. Here x equal 7 pi over 16, right? Remember the angle is from 0 to 2 pi. So I'm gonna write it in terms of 16 in the bottom. So it's gonna be 0 to what? 32 divided. Can't pass more than 32. When x equals 0, when k equal 1, x is 5 pi plus 8 pi is 13 pi over 16. Over here is 15 pi over 16. When k equal 2, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21. So 21 pi over 16. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 7 is 23. Keep going, right? When k equal 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29. 29 pi over 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 7 is 31 pi over 16. Should I stop? Yeah, right. You can go on, but you're gonna go over. Eight times 4, that's 32, right? And add some more, will be more than 32. So I'll stop. So the solution is 5 pi over 16, 7 pi over 16, 13 pi over 16, 15 pi over 16, 21 pi over 16, 23 pi over 16, 29 pi over 16, 21 pi over 16. So Monday, no Zoom. Zoomer, no Zoom. I already sent out email, say so. And I'll tell you your grade if you want to know. Have a good weekend. Enjoy some sunny days.
I tested it.